When you think of the color orange, what do you think about? Do you think about an object that has the color orange? Or maybe do you think of an orange as if it were on a color wheel? In any case, orange can be seen everywhere, from the orange scales of a koi fish to the orange paint of a building, because orange can be seen all over the place. Where does orange stand in our perception of color? The color orange, for example, sits comfortably next to red and yellow on the color wheel. The color orange is a secondary color, while red and yellow are primary colors. When mixed together, make the color orange. In terms of creating orange digitally, with digital media like Photoshop, Corel Painter, Illustrator, with these digital medias, orange can be made with red and green. RBG, for example, as no blue is used in the process. The history of orange can date back to Asian times. For example, in ancient Egypt, orange was very valuable in their use of tombs. The mineral Egyptians used was called realgar, as it gave Egyptians the color orange. Aside from ancient Egyptians, in ancient Rome, Romans cherished color orange as it was a valuable item they had to get through trade. They didn't have the necessary materials to mine and find the right minerals to produce the color orange. So, when they traded, the orange they would use was called orpiment. However, when ancient Romans used the orange orpiment, orpiment was a very and is a very highly toxic mineral. China, for example, used to use orpiment as a medication until they realized it was deadly. People would use orpiment for toxins, poisons, as again, it was a deadly substance. Alongside the history of orange, um, orange can mean different things in different cultures. For example, in Western culture, let's take America for example, orange can represent joy and happiness and the fall weather. However, in many Eastern countries, they link the color orange with love, happiness, and good health. For Indian culture, the color orange is considered a sacred color. This is due to the fact that the color orange would be worn by the Buddhist monks in India. The reason why Buddhist monks wore orange was the color orange represented the earth, the red earth to be example, as it reminded the Buddhist monks that they are here for the earth and they are here to live. In Japanese, it represented love and courage. And in ancient Egypt, as the slide before, it was associated with mourning and death. In any case, the color orange was used by many civilizations, whether that be through pottery, sculptures, paintings. But the question is, how was orange produced in these early years? The color orange was produced originally by mixing red and yellow pigments in a water based form, as in Western civilization, there were no pure natural pigments that produced a organic orange paint yet. For these ancient civilizations, orange could not be obtained naturally where they lived, Instead, they had to trade from European affairs to get the pigments that were needed to create the color orange. However, in 1797, a man named Louis Vauquelin discovered the mineral crackway that was a pigment that helped make the color orange. Rather than importing minerals overseas, Western civilizations could now manufacture their own color orange. Nowadays, orange is manufactured in many forms, whether that be through acrylic, oil, watercolor. These paint options we have today might have not existed back then. This is due to our scientific research, and we now can create artificial color with different minerals rather being stuck to one color and one option. Big manufacturing companies can now sell many different shades and colors of orange just because of these scientific leaps and bounds. For example, in this chart, the chemical description of all these color and pigments mixed together to make the substances we need to create different colors of orange. For example, we have coral orange, which is a prioleogenezoline chemical description. I am not a scientist when it comes to chemical descriptions, but these are minerals that help create the colors of orange that we use in manufacturing to today. Aside from these manufacturing products of orange and chemicals, how is the color orange used physically? When I mean physically, I mean how is orange used in life that we know? How is orange used in architectural designs, beauty products, food, or landscapes? When you look around yourself, how does the color orange grab your attention to these certain objects? An example of orange being used in architectural design can be seen in this Nickelodeon hotel. If you were driving down a street and you saw this hotel, you would probably look at it. The reason you would look at it is because the color orange is a big contrast from the greens and the blues of the background. It grabs your attention because nothing else in its vicinity is that brightly colored. Another example of using the color orange physically is interior design. Take example this photo. In this photo, it's very dull. The colors gray, brown, nothing really stands out. But the orange slaps you in the face. In this photo, the orange accents the room. It brings out everything in it. The orange is the main centerpiece of this composition of a room. When you look at this room, the first thing that grabs at your attention is the color orange, the orange curtains, the orange pillows. They grab your attention because they contrast so well with its surroundings. It makes the composition even more lively. Aside from physical media, how can the color orange be used digitally? The color orange can be used variously in digital media. Orange can be found in video games, digital paintings, graphic design, and even animations. All these various medias do contain the color orange. For example, in this video game called Firewatch, the use of orange is used in the mountains and the logo. It shows the warmth of autumn and it can tell you so much about the game and what it represents. It shows the game is relaxed, calm, as the orange helps show the reader or the looker that it's sunset or early morning. It's a calming day wherever this place is. Another example of orange being used in digital media is in this screenshot of a video game of Horizon Zero Dawn. In this screenshot, the orange can be seen in the background as the first thing you see is the canyon. Aside from the darker foreground, the light aspect of that background canyon pops out and shows the reader that there is landscape and depth in this world. Another example I would like to show you is this Wonder Woman movie poster. In this poster, orange isn't the main focal point. Rather, it is the supporting color that brings out the character in the center even more. Because the character in the center is so dark and brown, the orange in the background helps bring out this character even more. The orange background helps outline the reader of who this character is and what they stand for. This poster wouldn't be as effective if the colors in the background weren't so bright. Rather, if it was darker, the character in the center would be even more harder to spot. In the end, this poster is a good example of why good use of color is important in a composition. Aside from the color orange and how it's used in digital and physical media, how does the color orange affect us physiologically? Does the color orange make us tired or happy, or what does the color orange do? The color orange can help people feel more lively and energetic. This is to say, if you went into a building, which, if its walls were painting orange, you would feel more energetic, warm. It would help you feel less tired because orange affects us in a way where when we look at it, it makes us more energized, it makes us more motivated to do even more things. Alongside of this, the color orange can also help you feel more confident as it even spikes your heart rate a little. Alongside learning about the color orange and what it represents and what it does to us, I hope you take away some facts about the color orange here, like to review the color orange couldn't be manufactured naturally in the West until 1797, or how the color orange means mourning and death in Egyptian culture. I want you to take away a little bit of history from this presentation, and I hope you learned something new about the color orange.